What is up, bros? Welcome to the All Bros podcast. I'm Caleb.
And I'm beyond amazed, but I'm Jonathan.
Dude, no one's going to understand what the hell you're talking about.
I know, but I still want to say that I'm amazed.
We had a major upgrade for... at least we think it's going to be a major upgrade. We'll see once I get this all edited, whether it sounds good or not. But we finally got ourselves hooked up with a soundboard. So for the first time ever while recording, we heard the intro and it kind of got me hyped.
Same. Caleb doesn't have to do the cues anymore.
I know, it's so helpful.
Yeah, it is, but that's going to be like really freaking weird. It's going to take me... It's probably just going to take me this episode, then I'll be used to it.
Yeah, like, it was freaking cool.
It was very cool. It gets you freaking hyped. Because our theme music is that badass.
Oh, yeah, for those of you that don't know, we made the the music ourselves. So we're a little bit biased.
I would more
about
so
that.
say Caleb made it himself. I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, you had a lot of input on it.
Oh, I did? Oh. I don't remember that.
Dude, I love how little you remember shit.
I know, dude. Dude, my memory has gone to jack shit for only being 25. This is really bad. I'm scared to see how it's going to be when I'm 30.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be rough. Anyway, so we do not have anything in Funko Focus this week. Nothing really caught our eye, which that's kind of been the case for a really long time now.
Yeah, it has.
And usually whenever there is a Funko figure that we want to talk about, it's every once in a while now. Like, I feel like the only time that I ever like really get into a pop figure is when it's like the collector core box.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, so we'll discuss it a little bit more, but we may be getting rid of Funko Focus.
Like, honestly, and I know I've like announced that, I really don't collect Funko Pops anymore, but so, and actually you can use this too if you wanted to, but Target, the Target app, the Target Circle thing, has a coupon this week where you can get like 25% off a single like toy, and so it can be like Funko Pops, Marvel Legends, and I found out it could also be NECA figures. Yeah, I chose a NECA figure over a Funko Pop.
Jeez.
But, dude, I got the Laurie Strode NECA figure from Halloween 2018. I paid, what was it, $24 for it instead of $33?
That's not bad.
Yeah, for a freaking NECA figure? I was freaking so happy.
It's freaking epic.
But, yeah, that shit gets me more excited than Funko Pops. And I'm really getting into NECA, and I don't think this is a good thing. Because those things get expensive.
That's the worst. You just left one expensive hobby for another.
I know, dude. And they haven't even released Michael Myers from Halloween Kills yet. And I'm like really scared. I don't want to shell out another $30.
Yeah.
But I have to have it.
There are not a lot of figures that have come out recently, at least regarding Marvel, since, I mean, hell, probably, I want to say not even Loki. It's been since Falcon and the Winter Soldier, since there's been like a new figure that I've wanted. So I'm probably just going to try and get caught up on the Hulks, which I only have a few more to do.
Have you checked your Target store at all?
No.
Because
I need to make a run tomorrow.
Yeah, dude, because, I mean, I've been checking mine. I'm checking mine like every single day trying to find you that Hulk. Because if I do, I'm buying that shit and sending it to you. But yeah, they're starting to drop into stores.
Hell yeah. And my Target isn't that popular, and so they've had figures that even I've been like, oh damn, like.
So yeah, you might actually be in favor. Yeah. Can I want to talk about something really quickly though regarding Marvel. Why is it that whenever I have a certain favorite Marvel character, I always get like freaking like bent over and like slapped on the ass for like for how that character is released in like an action figure form or some shit like that? Because Hawkeye has never gotten, well, as far as I know, never really gotten any Marvel Legends figures. And then with Eternals coming out, I was thinking about, like with the 25% coupon, I'm like, hey, with them already releasing the Marvel Legends for Eternals, maybe I'll pick up Gilgamesh, because I'm really excited to see Ma Dong-so or / Don Lee in the movie. He's definitely become my favorite Eternal even before seeing the movie. But do you want to know how you get Gilgamesh for Marvel Legends?
Oh my gosh, do you have to buy all of them?
Yep, he is the Build-A-Figure.
Oh my gosh, dude, I hate that.
Yeah. So I go on eBay. I'm just like, okay, I just wanted to see how much people are charging for it. Yeah, you can't find it for less than $80, which rightfully so, considering that these figures cost $20 each. So they got to make their money back somehow.
That's still bullshit, dude. Like the same thing happened with they had like one of those NECA figures, but like the Build-A-Figure was the Ragnarok Hulk.
Yeah, dude, I remember that. Yeah, because we were at Toys R Us.
I was so pissed. I was pissed.
See, Caleb gets it too. It's freaking bullshit. And freaking what's weird about in this I guess first series of the Eternals, they have them all except for Angelina Jolie's Athena and then Salma Hayek's Ajax. Like,
what the hell?
I thought those two were like huge core members, especially Ajax. She's the leader of the Eternals.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they're leaving those two out, but whatever.
Probably because they didn't need them, because you could build Gilgamesh with less.
Yeah, fair. That still freaking pisses me off. I'm like, really?
That's the worst. Like, why couldn't you just make it like you build a Celestial?
Dude, right? Oh, no, but Celestial gets their own Marvel Legend. Wait, no, not Celestial. Me? Wait, are you talking Celestial or Deviant?
I was thinking like Celestial.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Like you collect all of all of the Eternals to build like one big Celestial.
Yeah, I think a Deviant got their own Marvel Legend.
That is absolute garbage.
Or maybe it is a Celestial. I'll have to like go back to Target and see which one it is, and I'll let you know.
Oh my gosh, it's the worst.
But yeah, so that's my rant and rave about frickin' Marvel always screwing over my favorite characters, or at least the ones that I'm interested in.
Yeah. So don't be surprised, everyone, if we do away with Funko Focus. We will, like, if there is a figure that we just absolutely need to talk about, we'll probably throw it into our Through the Wall, because each of us brings like one item to Through the Wall to discuss. So that might be the place to do it from now on, especially with how like little we're into Funko now. Because I'm probably going to as soon as I get caught up on the Hulks, I'm going to get those extra little bonus figures that I've been wanting, like the Sam Wilson Captain America, the costumed Wanda from WandaVision.
Oh yeah.
I want to cut the pumpkin basket off of that one, so I have like the comic accurate one, because the comic accurate one, or the first appearance Wanda, I did not like.
Yeah, wasn't she blue? Or was that Black Widow?
No, that was Black Widow.
Okay.
Hers, it was like a full faced helmet. It was like super weird looking.
That's what it was. Yeah.
So, yeah, I want to get the WandaVision version as my like comic accurate.
I love
Wanda.
I love it.
And then there's like another like other figures here and there. Like I definitely want to get a Captain Carter one, just because we're dressing my daughter up as Captain Carter for Halloween.
Oh, I love it,
dude! And I finished her top, like her shirt. It looks freaking bitchin'.
You gonna have everything done before Sunday?
Oh yeah,
or Saturday?
Yeah.
I don't know which day you guys are really celebrating.
Yeah. We have a Halloween party on Friday, which I'm going to attend as long as I can after work.
Hell yeah.
And then Sunday, I think Brielle said she's going to take her to church in her costume.
Aw, cute.
Yeah, so I'm freaking excited for that.
Oh,
and then we're just going to
adorable.
have her in the costume. Like, the only thing that we have to finish on her costume is her harness.
Okay.
We're going to, like, Velcro it, like, just so it, like, sits on, like, the front. So we're just trying to figure out how to do the back and have it, like, be comfortable enough for her so that we can put her in, like, the car seat.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so we need to do that. Brielle is making little utility bags for the belt.
So cute.
Yeah, we have her boots. Like, we got her some cowboy, but we couldn't. I was so pissed off. Like, I found the perfect boots, like, that went up, like, just below her, like just slightly above the middle of her shin. Like, they were perfection. They were just one size too big. And I tried them on her, and I'm like, we can make this work. We can make this work. I put them on her, and when she walked, they would slip off and trip her up. And I'm like, damn it.
Aw, damn.
Yeah, so we bought her some cowboy boots that had some camo on them, so we're painting over the camo, and like, that damn camo fabric can, like, absorb some freaking paint.
Really? Oh,
yeah,
shit.
It's been insane trying to get that painted over.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah, but we have a belt ready for her. We got her in some, like, cargo pants. Like, it's gonna be bitching. So everyone expect pictures.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the final product. I'm freaking stoked. It's gonna be so
Yeah.
freaking adorable.
Hell yeah. I got her shield done. I got her sword done. And she freaking loves that sword.
Yay. Aw.
Like, she'll freaking come and, like, jab me with it. And then, like, when I'm like, I'm gonna get you, she'll, like, it's, like, mildly concerning when she does that, because, like, she'll come and poke me, and I'll, like, pretend to, like, fall over or, like, get cut or something, and I'm like, oh no, and, like, fall to the ground, and then I'll chase her, and then she'll turn the sword on herself and, like, pretend to, like kind of, like, stab herself, and then she'll fall. She'll, like, ah! And I'm like, what the hell was that? Like, you are a freak, child.
Oh my gosh, Caleb, she truly is your kid. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she's hilarious. So expect pictures, everyone.
That is so cute.
Dude, she freaking gets into it. Like, she
Dude,
likes her
likes
her sword better than her shield.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, but when like, proud daddy moment there. But her when she only has her shield, like, it's freaking adorable. Like, I'll hold it up for her, and she'll slide her, like, she knew, like, the day we bought the shield, she, like, slides her hand in and was, like, holding it, like, exactly how you're supposed to hold it.
Oh my god.
And then when I taught her how to throw it, I mean, holy shit, she just went hog wild.
Oh my gosh. Dude, I'm getting, like, a cuteness overload here. Stop, please.
I know, you haven't even seen the picture of her costume yet.
I haven't. Oh.
I'll go grab it after we're done recording.
Hell yes. Oh, so cute.
But anyway, total sidetrack there. Getting back on topic. So yeah, don't be surprised if we're getting rid of Funko Focus. 4K Spotlight, we also don't have anything to discuss this week. Other than, like, the Paw Patrol movie, which, I mean, if you have young kids, wasn't completely unwatchable. Same with the My Little Pony movie. That was pretty okay too. I mean, I'm not going brony anytime soon, but it was decent.
Don't listen to him. It's coming soon.
Yeah, dude. When when Iris starts to talk, we're gonna like all these like little kiddie shows that I'm like forced to watch. I'm gonna like do where we'll have to do breakdowns with her about them.
Hell yes. I'm so down for that.
Yeah. Yeah. And then for Through the Wall, we got a new trailer for kind of one of the more surprising Pixar movies. So we'll get into that like immediately. So and then after that, we'll get into our headliner this week where we'll be breaking down Dune.
The 2021 version.
2021. I did forget that there was like an old...
No, dude, you're good. I forgot too.
Yeah, so we'll be breaking down Dune. So with that, let's say we get into it.
Let's do it.
Hello, my name is Brucker Nurse, and I want to tell you about my fun horror movie podcast called Autopsy of a Horror Movie. On my show, I like to have fun dissecting out what makes a horror movie scary, what worked for it, what didn't, what types of fears does it play off of. Is it an allegory for any sort of message? I don't know, but let's find out. Also, I like to watch slashers. I'm a big slasher guy, so I'll watch a slasher and do a kill grade for it. I will cover the kills and I will tell you how I would grade it based on shock, method, style points, and a fourth category that is a reflection of the movie. Besides those, I'll have fun with special topic episodes, commentary tracks, interviews with guests, including some Shudder directors, so I just like to have a fun time over here. If any of this sounds interesting to you or you just want to come check me out, please head over to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere they listen to podcasts and search for Autopsy of a Horror Movie. Also be sure to find me on Instagram at Brucker Horror, where you get fun updates and some cool little posts that I do. Thanks for listening, and I hope that you get to enjoy the show, and I'll see you on Instagram. Bye.
Alrighty, first up and Through the Wall. We actually got a trailer today. Like, luckily today, otherwise we wouldn't have had shit to talk about.
Yeah, straight up.
We got a trailer for Pixar's Lightyear.
I do appreciate that it's called Lightyear, not Buzz. I think that sounds so much cooler.
Yeah. This is going to be an interesting movie.
Yes. I was telling Caleb how, like, I know Pixar does basically, like, every one of their movies is different, except for their sequels, of course. But this one feels really different for Pixar. I don't think I would have ever thought to see them do a spaceman movie, kind of going, like, it's not gonna like be like The Martian, but you know, like, kind of, you know, just wow, I'm really butchering this. Needless to say, I never thought that they would actually do a space movie about an astronaut, even though one of their toys is an astronaut. But this is going to be very interesting.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if they did this intentionally, and I'm willing to bet that they didn't. I think it was just one of those things that they were going through, like an ideas meeting, and someone had just recently watched the first Toy Story movie and caught this, like, not even like I'll say it. It was a throwaway line. When Buzz realizes that he's a toy, he is in Sid's house and his dad's like asleep watching TV, and it was this line like, it was actually Penn Jillette that did the voice for the commercial. And they're like, shit. The world's greatest space ranger, now the world's greatest toy. Like, and then that's it. Like, and then they just kind of go off of that. And I'm like, they set that up, like, perfectly. Like, they were either waiting until they, like, they've either had this story in the lineup for years, just waiting for technology to get to the point where they're happy with, like, oh yeah, we can pull this off, like, amazingly. Or they're just like running out of ideas and just happened to come across that line.
It's like, wait, guys, we can make an origin movie just because of that one line. Like, come on, this is a no-brainer.
Yeah, exactly. So this is like how Buzz becomes the world's greatest space ranger. Like, there is a Buzz, like a real Buzz Lightyear.
Yep.
and he like does some like crazy shit. Like he has like this really cool spacesuit. Like it does look like Buzz's spacesuit. It's just not colored that way. He eventually does get into that colored suit, which is like freaking dope.
I do appreciate, like, it shouldn't translate to actual real life, like actually like look like it could be put onto a real person that well, but it actually does.
Yeah, no joke, dude. Like it looks so good. And then I think the most surprising thing from this entire thing is Buzz has hair.
Yeah. We all thought he was bald, but nope. Buzz has a full, luscious head of hair, and he's blonde.
And he's blonde. I think that's
or is it like a dirty blonde? I don't even know.
I mean, I guess you could say it's a dirty blonde. It's just really, really light.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
I think it's more on like the blonde side than dirty.
Okay. Yeah, it's not brown, right?
No, not quite. Like I
Okay.
consider my brothers dirty blonde because their hair is like very, very light brown.
I consider Bronson brown.
I mean, his hair is a little bit lighter, I feel.
Like what do you consider my color of hair?
Yours I consider brown.
Okay, because yeah, yours is definitely black.
Yeah, Bronson's hair is lighter than yours.
Yeah, see, like looking at the picture now, that looks brown to me.
You think?
Yeah, that looks more so brown.
Okay.
I don't know.
Then I guess that makes a little bit of sense. Wait, what color are Buzz's, like the toy's eyebrows? Aren't his eyebrows purple?
I think they are.
I think that's why we got confused, like thinking that he was bald. Yep, his eyebrows are purple.
That's funny. Oh, that's funny. I love how like the first picture I click on, it takes me straight to an eBay page. I can buy the Think Away 12-inch tall Buzz Lightyear right now for $20.
Mm-hmm.
Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah. So this is gonna be an interesting freaking movie.
It really is. Like, I should, like, honestly, the way I'm looking at this, I'm like, I should, like, not be excited for this movie because it just seems like so out of nowhere for Pixar to do this kind of movie. But I am. Like, honestly, like, this is actually, like, the most excited I've been for a Pixar movie in a while.
Right?
Yeah.
Dude, this is gonna be insane. Like, we've never gotten, like, I don't even, like, I think what's so intriguing about this to us, we never, ever would have guessed that we would have gotten a prequel to Buzz. Like, that would have been, like I said, the last thing on my freaking mind.
Right?
Like, it took me, when the announcement of the movie itself, to realize, like, how this works. I'm like, well, that's bullshit. They're just making, like, oh, Buzz Lightyear was a real person. Like, that doesn't make sense until I rewatched the first one, and I'm like, actually, that works.
Yeah, it really does. It shouldn't, but it does. Because, like, you know, like, you probably get people saying, like, oh, well, you know, they could do who Woody is really based off of, or Jesse, or, like, no. Because I really don't see those based off any, or, like, maybe, like, just, like, like an old time like cowboy like TV star from like an old TV show, but I don't ever see those actually being real real people from back then. From that line that Kayla brought up, you absolutely could see Buzz Lightyear being a real person and the toy based off a real Space Ranger.
Yeah, I'm afraid that if this movie does well, that they're going to try and do like a Woody one.
They freaking better not.
They established in Toy Story 2 that Woody is based off of a toy, or like not even a toy. He was based off of kind of like a marionette from a Western TV show for kids.
Yeah.
He was built specifically to be a toy.
Yep.
Buzz Lightyear was not. Buzz Lightyear was like someone like inspired. Like he was basically like Buzz Aldrin.
Yeah, basically.
If he became like crazy famous and had an action figure. I mean, not saying that Buzz Aldrin isn't famous. I mean, who the hell am I? but still, like, you know, you catch my drift.
Yeah, no, dude, I get you.
But we were talking about this before we recorded a little bit. I want to see all of the shit that we've seen in Toy Story kind of just translate. Like, that's what I want now. I want it translated into like real life. Like, I want to see the aliens. I want to see Emperor Zurg. I want to see the frickin' wings. Oh man!
And you know what sucks is the thing that sucks is we're only teased with the To Infinity and Beyond.
Freaking pulling an Avengers Assemble bullshit again.
Bullshit. Yeah, seriously though, and it's Chris Evans once again.
Yep.
Yeah,
exactly. Like, you know,
bullshit.
Like, if he had any say in this trailer, like, it was that. Freaking giving us blue balls with the To Infinity and Beyond.
Have you seen the like gag reel for Avengers: Age of Ultron?
Yeah. Where he's
remember,
like,
when
Avengers,
he's
and then he
like, points out the camera. He's like, he just points out the camera and is just like, oh, it's freaking great.
Oh, so good, so good. And this movie looks incredible.
This movie should not get me as interested and pumped as it is, but this teaser got me freaking hyped for this movie. I'm very excited for Lightyear.
Dude, I am extremely high. 1 out of 10. Where are you at?
You know what? F it. I'm at a 9.
I'm about there too. I'm actually might be a bit higher. Like I might be at 10? Like a 9.5.
Okay. I was gonna
not
say,
quite
dude,
out of 10 because I still have
if you
my
are,
hesitations. That's awesome. Yeah, I still have my hesitations. I still very much have my hesitations about this movie, but not so much that I am not pumped.
yeah, same here. Like, hell, I might see this opening night. I don't know. Like, it's weird, like how hyped or like how interested I got in this movie after this teaser trailer, and they don't really show you a lot.
No, they don't.
But Chris Evans says 2 lines, I think, as Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah. Like, you just get to see a lot of like the action sequences. Like, they see, I'm not sure if it's like a test launch or what, but he like launches into space and he does some like crazy ass trip around the sun.
Yeah, that was insane.
Yeah, so that's going to be wild. And then we were talking about it too. Like, I think, yeah, you were the one that brought it up. Like, well, that just ruins the origin story from the Buzz Lightyear of Star Command movie. And I corrected you because I'm like, nope. Toy Story actually acknowledged that this movie exists in their universe, because I think it's like either the intro or it's the intro. Like, Rex is wanting to watch this movie.
Yeah. And
so everyone's like, gather around, like, let's watch this movie. So I told him, I'm like, so this is something that people thought that they could capitalize on, so they made a Buzz Lightyear origin movie.
Oh man,
I'm so pumped. I'm so freaking pumped. I hope we get some Easter eggs of the show.
I hope so too. I never watched the whole show. I've only seen like bits and pieces here and there.
Yeah,
I've never watched all 4 seasons. But dude, I had that movie on freaking repeat when I was a kid.
I hope that movie holds up.
I think it will.
Yeah, if anything, it's going to hold up strictly because of nostalgia.
Yeah, fair enough.
I honestly remember watching that movie so often, I would not be surprised at all if because we're making this a movie night. Like,
Hell
damn well
yeah.
we're making it a movie night, a VR movie night at that.
Yeah, buddy.
I would not be surprised, though, if this unlocked, like, a shit ton of childhood memories for me. And if I was able to, like, quote the movie.
Dude, just talking about it, like, I remember actually, like, having all 4 of the, or at least of, like, Buzz's team, from the show, like, all, like, the action figures.
No
I freaking
shit.
remember that shit. Yeah, I remember that shit.
Oh, hell
I don't have them anymore, unfortunately. I forget what.
My biggest thing, I want to see the robot.
Garage. The what?
You have them in your garage?
Well, basically, what happened is our what was it? Our garage in California got infested with rats, and literally nothing was salvageable.
Bro, that sucks.
What can you do?
Oh. Yeah, I'm the one thing that I'm hoping for. I don't expect us to see like the aliens. That because those alien because he has like the female alien like Mira Nova.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I don't expect to see her because she is technically an alien, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to go like a little bit more on the realistic side. If they do include aliens, that's going to be pretty dope. And I would love to see her because I remember having a huge crush on her.
Oh, who didn't? Like, come on.
Yeah. Freaking feisty redhead. Like, hell yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Like, I knew what was up back then.
Love it.
No, but I want to see the robot. What was his name? RX?
Yeah, I think that's his name.
Yeah, whatever that.
XR.
XR, that's right.
Yeah. You were close.
Backwards. Yeah, close enough. I want to see that little robot. Or just an Easter egg to him.
Oh, that would put a huge smile on my face.
Oh, that'd be great. I'm so excited for this. I am like overly excited for this. It's insane. Like, I didn't get an accurate feel for how excited Brielle was about this, but I was just like pumped. I watched it twice on my own and then took it into our bedroom to cast on the TV so Brielle could see it too. And she's just like, "Oh, that looks pretty good." And I'm like, "It looks freaking amazing."
Pretty good? Pretty good? That's all you have to say?
Yeah, no joke. I'm just like, we are living in the future. Oh, I'm so pumped. I'm a little bummed out that Iris isn't going to be old enough for me to take to a theater, though.
Oh, dude, yeah, this would be like the perfect first movie.
No, I really, really hope that something good comes out in theaters when she's old enough to go to a theater. When I'm old enough to take her to a theater.
What's usually the average age that
I don't know. I think it's all based on your child.
Okay.
Like if you have one that has like attention disorders, I think maybe like take them when they're a little bit older. Maybe take them with something that they're a little bit more invested in.
Okay.
Like just kind of depends. Like I think with my goal is to get her to go to a movie with me at like 3 or 4.
Okay, that's a good goal.
Yeah, so hopefully something good comes out that I won't want to like blow my brains out while watching, and something that's going to be entertaining enough for her.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But I think I will say this. She is very picky about what she wants to watch right now. And I do feel like she wanted to watch the like Paw Patrol movie and the My Little Pony movie, because I was scrolling through and I'm like, you want to watch this? And she's like, no. And I'm like, you want to watch this? No. And then I got to like the My Little Pony and I'm like, you want to watch this? And she's like, yes. And so we like sat there and watched that, and she sat down like damn near the entire movie. Like she kind of lost interest a little bit near the end, but I was actually able to like wrangle her in and be like, oh, it's almost over. So she does really good. And then same with the Paw Patrol movie. There were just commercials galore for that one. And so she's just like,
really?
Yeah, so like anytime it came on, like a commercial came on for it when we were watching like Blue's Clues, she's just And I'm like, you want to watch that? And she's like, yeah. And so I'm like, okay, we'll turn on the puppy movie. And so, yeah, I've seen that a couple times now.
Oh, I thought you meant like commercials kept coming on during while you were watching Paw Patrol the movie.
Oh, no, it was like before.
Oh, okay. Oh, I was like, wait, I thought they didn't put commercials in movies.
No, they don't.
I was going to say, this is some bullshit.
Yeah, it's usually like if we're watching Dora or if we're watching Blue's Clues.
Oh,
it's just like whatever commercial or thing plays before the movie actually, or before the show starts.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, but she's very, like, she knows what she wants to watch, so hopefully something good comes out.
Okay.
And I am very much leaning her towards, like, Marvel stuff. Like, a lot of the stuff that I'm trying to get her to watch is very centric towards older kids, like 6-7 age.
Okay.
Like I tried getting her to watch Superhero Squad, but that didn't keep her attention very well. Like the colors did, but once she realized it wasn't like very musical and it was like very like dialogue heavy, that like was like so she lost interest. So I'm like, okay, like
fair enough.
I know I've got her with color. Like I just need something with a bit more music. So I'm trying, like, slowly doing, like, little episodes of the Spider-Man and his amazing friends on Disney+.
Okay.
And that's actually going pretty well.
Sweet. Hell yeah.
Yeah, anyway.
Enough cuteness with Iris.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. We can never have enough cuteness with Iris. Come on, everybody.
Yeah, no joke. We could go on for, like, another 40 minutes.
Just turn a whole episode into just talking about how freaking adorable your daughter is.
Yeah,
I'd be okay with that.
I would too. I love talking about my daughter. But that is not what we're here to talk about. We're here to break down Dune. So
yes,
you want to get into that?
Let's do it.
Alrighty, for this week's headliner, we will be breaking down 2021's Dune.
Part 1.
That was such bullshit.
You kind of have to add that now, considering they did announce that Part 2 is going to be made yesterday. Or, sorry. Well, okay, so we're recording this on the 27th. They announced on the 26th that Part 2 will be releasing next year.
Yeah. Kind of like, okay, shocker. You knew this movie was going to do, like, decently well.
Yeah, I mean, it's not... I mean, budget was 165, box office total so far is 223.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, I think it will do decently. Hopefully.
I think it will, too. Like, if anything, like, people went to see it for the freaking all-star cast.
Yeah, this has a pretty damn good cast.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of big claims made about this movie. Which, I mean, we can discuss a little bit. I think one of the biggest ones was that we have found our generation's Star Wars.
That was seriously a claim?
That was a claim. That this was the like the next generation Star Wars or the next generation's Lord of the Rings, and I'm like, was it though?
Yeah, I'm sorry, not getting spoiler to our breakdown, but oh honey, no, no.
Yeah, we'll get into that. We will definitely get into that. They're talking about like the start of a franchise, like our parents' generation, like their startup was like, was Star Wars, like when that movie came out, and they were like coming of age when Star Wars was coming out, or was like brand new.
Yeah.
And then as we like got older, so like just like maybe the generation above us is like was Lord of the Rings, because that came out like early 2000s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so this is supposed to be that like third one, but I'm like, like it's, for us that's Harry Potter.
Harry Potter, or actually I would say the MCU.
Oh, that is absolutely true too. I'll give you that one.
Yeah, but no, Harry Potter is also a good one.
Well, I'm not okay. The only reason that I'm not going to include the MCU in this whole thing is because the MCU is comic. No, not because it's still going. Because MCU is comic book based, whereas Star Wars was more like a like, I know that it was kind of an original story, but it was very like, had like a novelization to it. I feel like that kind of vibe. It wasn't like based off of something.
Yeah. Okay.
And then Lord of the Rings, I have like a hard time including too, but that one was also based off of a novel.
Yeah. Well, novels.
Yeah, novels. And then this is kind of like, I think for us, like our Star Wars or Lord of the Rings was Harry Potter. Yeah, so I think our generation had Harry Potter. So I think that what they're trying to claim is that the new up-and-coming movie, or the new up-and-coming novelization-based movie, is going to be Dune. And I think that was a very, very tough claim to make.
I agree. I mean, I know, you could, because, Dune's only getting 2 parts as well, as far as I know. So, people could claim, oh, well, yeah, but, I don't know, that kind of like irritates me, because them saying that, because, like Star Wars got 3 episodes, well, at least the original trilogy, and then, Lord of the Rings got 3 movies, because, 3 books, but then people would be like, yeah, because, they're short. They're only 3 stories. But then I would honestly, well, no, they would. I'm like really butchering this. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. They kind of throw in what Harry Potter's like 7, actually 8 movies. So you can't really include Lord of the Rings and Star Wars because there's only 3. But if you really think about it, The Hobbit connects to the Lord of the Rings, so that's 6 movies right there. You have Star Wars, which has been going on for 9 episodes now. So Dune, like, really, where can you go after part 2? Like, do they really plan on doing any spin-offs?
I think it has that potential. It's just whether or not there's going to be any of that interest.
I mean, I'm not a huge sci-fi kind of guy. Like, don't get me wrong. I like Star Wars. It's not my favorite. I am not a diehard Star Wars fan. I will fully admit that. I enjoy the movies quite a bit. I'm one of the few people that will actually defend The Force Awakens. It's still my favorite Star Wars movie. But I am not the kind of person that will go see the original trilogy when it's re-released in theaters. I won't go and buy the new box set that has come out on 4K, the new Steelbook set that's like $200, spend almost $1,000 on like an actual real-life lightsaber. I'm not that dedicated of a Star Wars fan. So thinking like sci-fi kind of thing, this movie didn't like really. I mean, we haven't even gotten to the story yet, but maybe just because I'm not a huge sci-fi kind of guy, this movie didn't really grab my attention that much as it did probably with other people.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Well, before we like completely like tear this movie apart.
I mean, we're not that mean.
No, I don't think we are. I definitely see your point. Like, I'm not necessarily the biggest Star Wars fan either, and so like purchasing all of this, this bonus stuff for Star Wars, it does seem very dumb because I think one of the biggest things that I've taken whenever someone's talked about like investments or whatever, it's just like invest in what you like or what you believe in. And that's just not something that you care for as much as like others. Like you can enjoy it when it's on, or like if you want to watch it, but it's not something that you're like drawn to.
Exactly. Like this is how I feel is a good comparison. Bringing up the whole like lightsaber thing. Like I know you can build one at like Disneyland for like $200, but if you really want to get like a super good one, you're going to be upwards of paying like $600 or more. I would rather spend that like on an actual like working proton pack. I would gladly spend between like $600 and $1,000 to get like an actual like functioning proton pack. It's not going to shoot the stream, of course, but it's going to be as film accurate as I can get it. And that bitch is going to be heavy, but it's going to be badass. I would gladly spend that much money on that, but I would not spend that much money on a lightsaber.
I'm a big enough Star Wars fan. I would not put that type of money towards like and just any old lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever technology they're using for the retractable lightsabers, that I would drop a lot of money.
You know what? Fair enough, because dude, that's as screen accurate as you can get. Next thing, if they can get it to actually cut through shit, which we know that would never be approved, then you're just perfect.
Like, have you seen the lightsaber that they have at Disneyland now? Whatever, because they freaking patented that shit. Whatever technology that they're using for that, I would pay up the ass.
I think they've said that it's gonna be over $1,000.
Maybe not that far up the ass.
So Caleb has his limits on what can be shoved up his ass. Okay.
Yeah. When I say like I'd pay up the ass, like that's like my top is like $500.
Actually, I think they've announced the like actual like price. I want to see really quickly.
Like I would actually rather try my hand at building one of my own.
Dude, honestly, I think you could do it.
Yeah, like I know that they publicly released their like the patent plans, I think. So I want to I'll follow a YouTube tutorial or something. And then I'll like buy a 3D printer if I have to.
Maybe they actually haven't like.
Yeah.
I'll bet you it's probably going to be like $800.
Yeah. Anyway, if you are new to our breakdown system, we're usually a bit more structured than we have been currently. But we have split movies into 8 different categories that we individually score to come to a final All Bros letter grade. The 8 categories that we score are story, writing, acting, character development, effects, music, costumes, and then we give it our own personal grade at the very end. And Rose looks like he's about to explode because he found something really cool. And
not really cool, I think I just found the actual price for it. And like, dude, you're gonna have to like freaking like take out a second mortgage on your trailer.
What? How much is it?
It's gonna run you about 1,400.
Holy shit! Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I've gotten close to saying the F word before, and I feel like I got closer with that one.
Oh, dude, I would have loved it if you said it for that. That would have been amazing. But, sorry, carry on.
Oh my gosh, that is ridiculous.
14.
Bloody hell. Yeah, no thank you.
Yeah, same.
Anyway. Before I have a freaking coronary. Yeah, so that is our breakdown system. And if you have not seen Dune 2021, I'd say it's worth checking out.
Yeah, I mean, everyone kept saying, "Oh, you got to see it in the theaters. You got to see it on the biggest screen possible."
No, you don't.
Yeah, you really don't. I mean, am I happy? Am I glad that I saw it in the theaters? Sure, except for the one person that, you know what, I'm gonna bring up later. That kind of ruined the movie theater experience for me. But I'll bring that up later. But
you don't get that shit in VR.
That's true. Caleb does have a very good point. I will. Yeah. But am I like sad that I didn't like see this in XD, like the Cinemark version of IMAX? No, but I think it kind of goes along the line of how I said I'm not that huge of a sci-fi fan, so like I don't need to see these ships as big as they possibly can be on a big screen.
That is absolutely fair. Like, I probably, like, if I absolutely needed to see a movie in theaters, I would seriously just go the route of the headset.
No, see, that's fair. And honestly, actually, I think you have an advantage with seeing it at home, because did you have the subtitles turned on?
Yes, we did.
Okay. Because, yeah, there were some lines that I really wish I could have, like, rewound and been like, wait, what the hell did you just say? You freaking, like, slurred your words there, buddy.
Yeah, I actually did not think about all the crazy words. So I'm going to pull up the the Dune dictionary.
Wait, are you serious? There really is a Dune dictionary?
No, I'm looking up the...
Damn, that'd be actually really funny.
Yeah, right.
I think that just shows how gullible I am. That I actually thought there was a Dune dictionary. Oh, jeez Louise, Jonathan.
Anyway. So yeah, Rose is about to spoil the entire freaking movie for you guys. So, everyone, get ready for Reading with Rose.
Especially with two E's this time. Because I feel I'm going to butcher some of this shit.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of alien names. So, yeah, fun.
I'm going to try. All right. And, wow, 10,191. Duke Leto of House Atreides, ruler of the ocean planet Caladan, is assigned by the Padishah Emperor Shaddam Corrino to replace House Harkonnen as chief rulers of Arrakis. Arrakis is a harsh desert planet and the only source of spice, a priceless substance that extends human vitality and is critical for interstellar travel. In reality, Shaddam intends to have House Harkonnen stage a coup to retake the planet with aid of the Emperor's Sardaukar troops, eradicating House Atreides, whose influence threatens Shaddam's control. Leto, I don't know if it's Leto or Leto, whatever, is apprehensive. Leto. It's Leto? Okay. Leto is apprehensive, but sees potential to ally with Arrakis' native population, the Fremen, as the first step towards increasing the Atreides standing in the lands. You know what? Honestly, I thought I was going to understand the story, at least the beginning, a lot more after I read it on Wikipedia than what I understood watching it. This isn't helping at all.
Yeah.
Damn it.
We'll get into
that. Leto's concubine. This is like the worst I think I've ever done. Lady Jessica is an acolyte of the Bene Gesserit, an exclusive sisterhood wielding advanced physical and mental abilities. Although Jessica was instructed by the Bene Gesserit to bear a daughter whose son would become the Messianic Kwisatz out of love for Leto, she instead bore a son, Paul. Throughout his life, Paul is trained by Leto's aides, Duncan Idaho, Gurney Halleck, and the Mentet Thufer Hawat, while Jessica trains Paul in Bene Gesserit disciplines. Paul confides in Jessica and Duncan that he is troubled by visions of the future. Due to his developing presence, the Reverend... Prescience. Oh, yeah, sorry. Are you looking at the Wikipedia, too?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
I had it pulled up because I'm going to refer back to a lot of these.
Okay.
And I need the names pulled up.
Due to his developing prescience, the Reverend Mother Gaius Helen Mohiam comes to Caledon and subjects Paul to a deadly test to assess his impulse control, which he passes. Later, Mohiam instructs House Patriarch Baron Vladimir Harkonnen to spare Paul and Jessica during his coup, which he do you know that word?
Duplicitously?
Duplicitously agrees to. Stilgar and meets planeologist and Imperial Judge Dr. Leet Kynes. Kynes informs Leto, Paul, and Halleck of the dangers of spice harvesting, including giant sandworms who travel under the desert. During a fight, they spot a sandworm approaching an active spice harvester with a stranded crew. The crew is rescued before the sandworm swallows it. Paul's exposure to the spice-laden air causes intense premonitions. After an attempt on Paul's life by a Harkonnen agent, Leto places his soldiers on high alert. Suck Dr. Wellington Yo disables Arakan's protective shields and allows Harkonnen and Sardaukar troops to overwhelm the Atreides forces. Yua incapacitates Leto and tells him he made a deal to deliver him to the Baron in exchange for his captured wife. Yua replaces one of Leto's teeth with a poison gas capsule and is killed after delivering the Duke. Leto releases the poison gas, killing members of the Baron's court and himself, but the Baron survives. Idaho escapes and steals an ornithopter, but Paul and Jessica are captured. Harkonnens take them into the desert to die, but they overpower them using the voice. Finding a survival kit left for them by Yua, Paul and Jessica spend the night in a tent. Paul experiences visions of a holy war spreading across the universe under his name. The Baron hands over command of Arrakis to his brutish nephew Raban and orders him to sell spice reserves and restart production to remunerate the cost of the coup. Paul and Jessica are found by Idaho and Kynes and head to an old research station but are quickly trapped down by Sardaukar. Duncan and various Fremen sacrifice themselves to allow Jessica, Paul, and Kynes to escape the facility. Kynes, ambushed by Sardaukar troops, lures a sandworm that devours them along with her. Paul and Jessica reach the deep desert and meet with Fremen, among them Stilgar and Chani, the girl in Paul's visions. Fremen member Jamis protests their admission and is killed by Paul in a ritual duel to the death. Against Jessica's wishes, Paul joins the Fremen with the intention to bring peace to Arrakis. Wow. Okay.
That was a mouthful.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Well done. I don't know if I would have been able to do any better.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
So yeah, that was the basic story of Dune.
Yeah.
So I heard from my sister-in-law, her boyfriend read the books.
Okay.
And he said that there is a lot of stuff missing from the first book in this. He says that they actually barely address the first book at all.
How many books are there?
That is a good question. I do not know.
'Cause I actually thought there was just one book.
Holy shit, there's a ton of them.
Okay.
There's Dune. There is Dune Messiah, Children of Dune, God Emperor of Dune, Heretics of Dune, and Chapter House Dune.
Damn.
Yeah, so there's
That's
6
a lot
books.
of Dune. Yeah, that's a lot of Dune.
Yeah, and then they have like, okay, this very much has the potential to be, the next Star Wars, or like a next franchise. It has the potential. It has the potential. Whether or not the interest is there is going to be up to how they conclude this story.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Kudos to anyone listening that like really loved this movie, like is really into this story. Like kudos to you, because I appreciate the hell out of you, but I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, but my sister-in-law's boyfriend said that they barely addressed the first book. And if you haven't read the books or seen the original movie, it might be confusing.
Yeah, I was confused as fuck.
Yeah, so this doesn't tie in to the original movie at all, from what I understand.
Okay.
So it's actually, so he said you might want to watch if you're not going to read the books, watch the first, or like the original Dune, to kind of get a feel for the stuff that they're leaving out.
Okay.
So, I mean, I think that they did, like, going in completely blind, not knowing anything. I mean, I wasn't, like, particularly confused. It was just really trying to keep up with all the names and, like, who everyone was.
I think that's what threw me off, and, like, the different types of, like, species of these people. Well, not species, more groups of these people. That definitely kept throwing me through a loop.
Yeah, so we ended up giving the story a 74.5.
Okay. That sounds fair.
Yeah, which it's not bad. It's just you can tell that they weren't following the source material very well. I assume. Like, I haven't read the books, but it just felt like there was just a lot of information that we just had to know or conclude on our own.
Yeah, and I don't know, because I had never seen any of the trailers for this movie. I'd seen nothing. So literally, the only thing that I'd seen of this movie was the the poster. That was literally the only thing I'd seen of this movie. So yeah, literally, like they start like spewing out all these different names. I'm just like, no, in my mind, you're Josh Brolin, you're Timothy, what the hell is his name?
Chalamet.
Chalamet, thank you. You're Jason Momoa. You're Oscar Isaac. Like, I couldn't remember these damn names.
Yeah, it got difficult to follow after a while.
I mean, I guess Timothy Chalamet's name isn't that hard to remember, considering it's just frickin' Paul.
Yeah. So from what I was able to gather, like after I was probably like 3/4 of the way through the movie, and it was probably while they were explaining it. I'm like, okay, so what ended up happening was the Atreides family was sent to Arrakis to basically take over where the Harkonnens were originally, and the Harkonnens were in charge of the production of the spice.
Okay.
Which does kind of give me some Star Wars vibes, because that's what they call drugs. In Star Wars, they call it spice.
Yeah, fair enough.
But anyway, that's like total sidetrack. So apparently the Atreides family had enough influence that threatened the Emperor. And so the Emperor decided to send them to Arrakis, because that's where it kind of gets confusing, because it's like he maybe pulling them away from like where they reside, like away from like people that would stand by them in battle.
Yeah.
Or basically trying to like give them a fresh start, so they have to kind of like rebuild their influence on a planet like that. And then the Harkonnens kind of came and like butchered them. At least that's what I gathered. It's like,
I mean, dude,
confusing.
like that sounds like a really good guess to me, and your guess is as good as mine.
It's kind of a convoluted plan, but like I think it was just like maybe Arrakis was an easy place to command them to go, because he knew that it would be easier to take them down from when on Arrakis, because they have all this equipment that doesn't work. They have all of these resources that are very like not easily, that's not even a word, that are so easily like tampered with.
No, yeah.
And all of this other shit. But I think the one thing that kind of threw me for a loop was the Dr. Yue kind of betraying the family.
Yeah, dude, that just like freaking came out of nowhere. Like, honestly, when he got shot in the back with the dart, the Oscar Isaac's character, sorry, I don't remember his name. What's his name again?
Leto.
When he got shot in the back with the dart, I half expected it to be one of the members of the people that were attacking. But no, it was this freaking doctor. I'm like, I honestly like only remember him like from like one or two scenes before, and like I barely remembered him. So when he like it turned out it was him, like, wait, who the hell is that?
Yeah, it kind of throws you for a loop there, because you're just like, what the hell?
He's and just then, like, oh, like, I feel so bad for betraying you, dude. I don't even freaking know you.
Yeah, I understood that the Duke like knew who he was and everything, and so how that could have come as a shock, but it seemed like he knew that the Harkonnens were not a trustworthy people. So it at least that's the vibe that came out, where like when he went to go meet the Baron, or when he was dragged to meet the Baron, and the Baron's just like, oh, what was promised to you? And he's like, you promised that you would free my wife. And he's just like, oh, I remember that deal. Like, I do believe that the deal was that you could be with her. And then I'm like, dude, so she's dead.
Yeah.
Like, no shit. Oh, you mean these crazy people that are known for being like absolutely horrible, like went back on your deal? Shocker.
Yeah.
So that was one of those like big things that I'm like, whatever. And I think another thing that kind of messed with the story, like not only the shittiness of, but not only like the shittiness of how these people were able to infiltrate like the Duke's home. I think it also kind of sucked how it was so difficult to follow timelines.
Yes, absolutely.
Like here's the biggest one that I was just like, wait, what? So Paul goes to Duncan, Idaho to discuss he wants to go to Arrakis with Duncan.
Mhm.
And Duncan says like, no, you come with your family. Like, it's safer for you, blah, 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 blah. Like, we'll only be gone a few weeks. And so, and then it's like immediately they go into like a scene where Paul and like the House Atreides are on this ship going to Arrakis, coming out. And apparently, Duncan has been living with the Fremen for like months, or not like weeks.
Yeah,
And I'm like, the fuck?
yeah. When did he take off?
Yeah, I don't think they showed it.
No,
like he just talked about like, oh, I'm going to be going, and then I'm like, oh, so did they go first and not Duncan?
Yeah, it's really, really not that well explained.
Not even a little bit. Another thing that wasn't really well explained until you freaking read it, I thought Lady Jessica was the Duke's wife.
That's what I thought too. Cause isn't there like one part where he says, "I shouldn't have married you" or some shit like that?
That's what I thought, but then like
Yeah.
you read like his concubine.
Yeah, what the hell does that mean?
I'm googling that right now. Concubine, a woman who lives with a man but has a lower status than his wife or wives.
Maybe he says, "I should have married you," instead of "I shouldn't married you."
Probably.
That's what...
If that's the case, they got it wrong in the subtitles too.
Oh, so they said I should. So in the subtitles they say I shouldn't have married you.
Yeah, which I thought was like really weird because then they were like being sweet to each other after. I'm like, that's an odd thing to say to your wife.
Let's have sex first.
Yeah, right. Just confusing. I'm trying to think of some like other shit. Okay, the Fremen's obsession with Paul, thinking that he was basically their equivalent of the Messiah, the Kwisatz Haderach.
However you
Kwisatz
say that.
Haderach. I don't know how the hell they pronounce it. Like, it's super weird. But anyway, they think that he is some sort of Messiah, and they have all of these signs that are supposed to guide him, or that are all these basically all these signs that say so they have all of these signs, or like this prophecy of what the Messiah should be, who he is, what he can do, and all this other shit. But all of the signs are very like vague.
Yeah.
Like one of them was they have these suits that they put on that recycle the water in their body. And so it's like,
that is a cool idea.
It is a super cool idea. Just so they can survive in the harsh landscape of Arrakis, for longer without losing bodily fluids. But I like. Oh shit! What was I just saying? I got caught up on the suits.
Oh gosh, damn it.
Oh, sorry. Like his role as like the Messiah.
That's what it was.
It was like these weird things. Like one of the doctors that was the judge of the change. Her name was Dr. Liette Kynes. She was a Fremen, and she was adjusting the Duke's suit, and she was fixing Duncan's suit, and also fixing Gurney Halleck's suit, like just doing those adjustments. And then she goes over to Paul, and Paul's suit is like perfect, and she's just like, "Oh, have you ever worn one of these suits before?" And he's just like, "No, like this is my first time." And then she like whispers something in her language, like, "Oh, he shall know your ways," or he, without ever being a part of you. And I'm just like, that's something you can easily research.
Yeah,
which I thought that's how he understood it. Like I didn't think he thought it was so weird that he's just like, "Oh, it just felt right."
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, I never got the vibe that he just got these feelings of how people do shit. Like I thought it was something that he learned with those like hologram like lessons.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
So it's just like a lot of stuff like that where it's just like enough to pull you out. Like, wait, how does that? Or wait, why does this happen? Why does that happen? Like, who's this? Who's that? And I think without subtitles, I would have been completely lost. Been like, who the hell are the Harkonnens?
I need to go back and rewatch this movie with subtitles because I feel that might help me out a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely helps out. Yeah. And also, I also had a really big issue with like knowing what the hell the Bene Gesserits did. They were basically like a coven. It felt like I didn't know what the hell they were. Like, were they witches? Were they like, it's like this weird sisterhood of people who wielded advanced physical and mental abilities, but what physical abilities did they have? Like, the only thing that I saw them do is they had the power to like command people with what they called the voice.
You know what I remember the most from that scene is that is the first scene that like I caught myself freaking dozing off. Maybe it was just because I was like super tired, but like there were a couple parts in this movie that I falling asleep. So, I felt bad. I feel so bad when I do that in a movie.
I wouldn't. Like, it sucks. Like they basically opened up the movie with him trying to use the voice on his mother without like explaining what the hell it is.
Yeah, she's just like, tell me, you know what's like really freaking weird? And I think you probably think the same way. She's just like, command me to give you the water. I'm like, the fuck?
Yeah, I'm like, like,
what did this movie just turn into?
Dude, straight up. And I'm just like, is this going to turn into like a yes daddy situation? Because I'm not comfortable with that.
Neither was I. But yeah. Oh yeah, it was freaking weird.
Super weird. And they kept doing that. Like, I felt like there was a scene where they like were in these this thopter, which I have thoughts about the thopter, but I'm not going to talk about that until we get into effects, because no, so they go down to or like they do this crash landing in this thopter when they're trying to escape. What are those bastards called? The Sardaukars and the Harkonnens. So. Like they were escaping them. They took this thopter away, and then they crash landed, and then they like ran off to go change into their suits. Yeah, like whatever those suits are called, changed into those. Like in like off this rock or something, and I think what threw me off about it, like kind of gave me some like uncomfy vibes, was the way that like Paul was taking his shirt off, and then his mother was giving him like a weird look. And I'm just like, okay, this got weird. And she, like it's like right before she takes off her shirt, and I'm like, what the hell is this movie,
dude? Straight up.
Yeah, it's just that the pacing was off. I think a lot of the action sequences were pretty cool. Like those like kept my attention.
Well. Absolutely. I agree with that.
What failed was whenever they got really heavy into the dialogue and the dynamics between these houses, like any of the political shit, like lost me really hard.
Yeah. Yeah, same here.
So, yeah, I had a tough time keeping up with this movie. But 74.5, I don't think that's too bad.
No.
Moving on over to writing, we're sitting at a 75.5.
Okay.
So just slightly higher than the story.
I mean, the writing really didn't help that much. I was still confused as hell.
Yeah, very, very much so. I think that I would have been a little bit less confused had they followed in Star Wars' footsteps and given us a little bit of a crawl. Explaining
dude,
what the hell.
I would have actually loved that. I wouldn't have been mad. I wouldn't have been like, "Oh, you're copying Star Wars." No, I would have actually been very happy.
Yeah. Give us a little bit more of an exposition dump than whatever the hell you gave us.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. Ugh. Like, and it doesn't even have to be a crawl. Just like a little, like, couple paragraphs before, like, on just a black screen in white font. Just
or get Oscar Isaac to narrate it. Like,
I would have been so down for that.
Yeah, it was just so. It was just lacking. And I will say this, I feel like the dialogue where people were interacting with each other, I thought that was pretty compelling.
Yeah, I would agree. I especially felt that way, honestly, at the end of the third act, when he does find that, or him and his mom find that other group of people that Zendaya is a part of. Yeah, sorry, I don't remember these names, so I'm just gonna say Zendaya.
Fair.
The dialogue between him and Javier Bardem is really, really good, very compelling.
Yeah, it was like the political shit. Like anytime that like interactions, so like between Paul and his mom, like I thought like that was pretty good for the most part.
Yeah.
The interactions with the Fremen were pretty decent. It's just anytime they got into like a political talk, like the discussion that the Baron had with Dr. Yue and the Duke, it like that stuff just seemed to drag on forever, and it's just like, okay, just freaking wrap it up, people.
Yeah, dude, seriously though, ugh.
It was just And then, like, I feel like there were so many things that they didn't write about. Like, what the hell is happening to the Baron? Like, why can't he float like he's a freaking fat ass Slender Man?
Dude, straight up, man, that was so freaking weird.
Like, kind of reminded me of the Guardians from Green Lantern.
Oh, that's a great example.
Like, it's so odd. Just like, ew.
It
Anytime it showed his back and like the cracking, I'm like, this is disgusting.
Have you seen? I think it was Men in Black 2. The one alien that's like really after Jay. He has like red hair.
Yes.
Yeah, like isn't he like kind of like pretty tall, and he wears like that kind of like same outfit?
Yep, a little bit.
That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, that's a good one. But yeah, that's something I could have done. Like, I needed a little bit more writing on. Like, what the hell is happening to this person?
Oh man.
Oh shit! I forget what his name is. 1 second. Okay, I originally thought that the Baron was played by Nick Nolte.
I can understand why you thought that.
Yeah, but it wasn't. It was just a extremely prosthetic Stellan Skarsgård.
Really? That was him?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Like, it took me so long. Like, I was like halfway through the movie, and I leaned over to Braille, and I'm like, "Oh, that's freaking Selvig from Thor."
I didn't even pick up on that.
Yeah.
Shit.
Like, I think that's just how like unintriguing the writing was with this at times, where I'm just like, who is that? Like, usually, like, if the writing is like super compelling, like if it keeps me engaged in the moment, I don't have those thoughts. Like, I don't have those like, oh, who's that? Who's that? Who's playing that? Like, I don't get those feelings, but that with this, I was just like constantly like, anytime the Baron was on screen, I was trying to figure out who the hell he was.
Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah, I felt the same way.
So, it kind of like, honestly, a little let down. I was expecting, like, because this was based off of a novel, I was expecting a little bit more.
No, yeah, I can definitely agree with you on that. I mean, even though I've never read any of the books, yeah, I can definitely agree with you.
Yeah, so I think overall, I think it was slightly better than the story, but I think it's 70. Like, just it's like 1%.
Yeah.
So I think that's fair. Moving on over to acting. I think we had a pretty decent cast. We had Timothée Chalamet, who played Paul Atreides, Rebecca Ferguson, who played Lady Jessica, or Paul's mother, Oscar Isaac, who played Duke Leto Atreides, Josh Brolin, who played Gurney Halleck, Stellan Skarsgård, who played Vladimir Harkonnen. Then I'll include Jason Momoa, who played Duncan Idaho.
Hell yeah.
Everyone else was just kind of a side character, which sucks because they were pushing. I thought Zendaya was going to be a bigger part of this movie.
I actually, guys, don't get like so freaking hyped because I'm like barely in the movie. She actually came out and said it.
Damn.
I mean, she wasn't wrong.
Yeah, she wasn't. That's funny, though.
So hopefully she has a bigger part to play in part 2.
I would hope so. But, yeah, this, she was definitely a side character for this.
Yeah. Considering she doesn't even get to actually talk until the third act.
Yeah. So it was kind of hard to put her in the acting category at all, which honestly for me bumped up the acting.
That Yeah, you really don't like Zendaya. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about her, man.
I freaking love her.
Okay, I'm totally joking. She did fine. Like, this was actually one movie where I could actually stand her.
It's probably because she barely talked, wasn't it?
Actually, no. Like, I actually when it got to the end and she actually started like talking a little bit more, I think that was some of her better acting.
Okay, I would agree. Awesome. Okay.
Like, I was expecting to see more, and that's just because the story... Like, this is something, kind of going back to story real quick, that we didn't really address. This movie, even though it does feel very, very long in the worst way...
Yeah.
It does end very abruptly.
Yes.
Like, it relies too heavily on it being a however many parts it's going to be.
2 parts. I mean, I'll give them this. It does not end as abruptly as Halloween Kills. Because you do, like, the way that they end it is them, you know, like, just walking out to wherever they're heading to. Whereas, and it's actually a cool shot. Whereas, you know, we all know how Halloween Kills ended, but yeah, it's a lot less abrupt than that film.
Yeah, so I think that's definitely something that we'll get into with with character development, but I think that's definitely something that may have affected some of the performances.
Oh, that's fair.
Just because they did feel very incomplete.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying here.
But yeah, so we ended up giving acting an 84.
It's not bad.
Yeah, definitely not bad. I thought Timothée Chalamet was good. His performance did seem very dry at times.
It did. I mean, the only other movie I've seen him in isn't he in Little Women?
Yes.
Okay, that's, as far as I know, that is the only other film that I've seen him in, and it definitely seems like he got to show his acting skills a little more in that movie, even though he's definitely a side character in that movie, whereas this one he's in the center, he's the main character. So he really doesn't get to show off his like huge acting chops until the third act, and I mean that's where, you know, he actually really does come on. He does. So I really hope that he continues to be able to show his acting chops more so in part 2, because he is a very good actor, and he was I think he was a great choice to play the title character. It's just the way that the dialogue was written for him in the beginning just doesn't give him the chance to show what he's truly got.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think Rebecca Ferguson, who played his mother, did a really good job.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that.
Oscar Isaac just freaking knocked it out of the freaking park like he always does.
Oh, yeah.
Josh Brolin, I feel like I've seen better from him. His character felt very plain.
It did. Question about him. Did he die? I never saw him die.
I didn't either. I'm going to assume yes.
Okay. Because, yeah, all of a sudden, like, when he went charging into battle with his men, and then all of a sudden that was it. I'm like, okay, did he die? Like, I'm going to assume, but we never saw a body, or it was never implied, so what the hell?
Yeah, that is true. With movies like this, like especially science fiction movies, if you don't see a body, they're not dead. So I'm going to assume that he is not dead. And that's just because you brought that up.
Oh, okay, cool.
Then let's see. Jason Momoa, I thought he actually played a really interesting character.
He did. I mean, honestly, it's hard for me to hate Jason Momoa in any role that he's in, just because he's such a likable guy. And I really liked what he did in this movie. Like honestly, this felt way different from his portrayal of Aquaman. So I really appreciated that. I think he did a really good job.
Yeah, I think he plays like. I think like it's so hard like to get him in the middle. Like with Aquaman, he plays like slightly goofy, but has some serious moments. In other things that I've seen him in, he is nothing but serious.
Yeah.
With this, he played like kind of like right in the middle. Like he wasn't too serious, but he wasn't like a complete and utter goof.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I really appreciate. Like it felt like someone who took their position in the House of Atreides very seriously, but was still able to have like fun with it.
Yeah, I loved him and Paul's relationship. Timothy Chalamet. Is it Chalamet?
Chalamet.
Chalamet. I don't know how I keep screwing this up. Timothy Chalamet. And oh my gosh, Jason Momoa's chemistry in the couple scenes that they're together. I freaking loved it.
Yeah, like I did too. Like it was so good, so good. Top 3 actors from this.
Number 1, Oscar Isaac. 2, I'll give to Timothy Chalamet, and then 3, Jason Momoa.
I'm actually a little bit different than you.
All right.
I'm actually top spot. I'm giving to Jason. Like he just like captured my attention every time he was on screen.
Good.
I thought his performance as Duncan was very well done. Next, I was actually given to Oscar Isaac.
Okay, yeah, so okay.
I thought his performance as the Duke was just enthralling. I thought all of his speeches were really like just empowering. I was a bit bummed out when he died, though.
I was too. Like, it sucks that he won't be in part 2.
Yeah, it was just another one of those things that I'm just like, you killed him off too soon, and it was another like a very abrupt end.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, I thought he was good. And then number 3, I'd give to Timothy Chalamet.
Okay.
Like, I think he did really good. I think he definitely needs to work on his dryness. But overall, I think he did a pretty good job. So, like I said, overall, we gave acting an 84.
Not bad.
Yeah, definitely not bad. It was above average acting, but
Yeah,
nothing too grand.
it's definitely not these actors' best, but it's not their worst.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Next up, we got character development. We ended up giving this a 77. And I based this off of Paul.
Same here.
And I'll say this. I think the reason that it was so low was because they relied so heavily on this being a 2-part.
Yes. Absolutely agree.
Like, it's almost like we got half of his arc. Like, he starts off as someone that's, like, slowly learning different skills. Like, he doesn't quite know how to use the voice yet. He doesn't quite know his role as the One, which I thought him overhearing that was, like, total bullshit.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that.
but it really didn't change anything for him. So it was just like, yeah, whatever. Like didn't really
honestly,
care. And then as it went on, it seemed like he was just following like it felt like things were happening to him and he was reacting to them instead of him making things happen. Like even after his father died, like I kind of expected him to take the reins, but it was just like understanding like I don't know, I just the way that they pulled it off, it just wasn't the greatest arc.
No, it wasn't, because honestly, like I feel like I really didn't start giving a shit about his character, and like honestly, I really don't fully still give a shit about his character until like honestly, and I know it's probably effed up to say, when he like screamed at his mother in the freaking tent. That's where I'm just like, okay, this shit, man, you need to calm down, but maybe you're actually starting to have some character here. And then it just started to kind of grow a little more, especially when he met up with Zendaya and her clan. That's what I'm going to call him.
Yeah.
Or should I say Javier Bardem and his clan?
I think it's such like a conflict because it seems like the sisterhood that are trying to like control him, or basically calling him the one, are trying to get him to like repress and keep his emotions down, while the Fremen are very much like trying to pull him towards like the side of spirituality and emotion.
Yeah.
And like I think that's what the spice was unlocking too, was unlocking his emotion, and so maybe trying to deal with that is a little bit interesting. But they just didn't explore that too much.
Yeah, they really don't.
Like, he didn't start learning or not the voice. Like, he knew how to use the voice. He just didn't know how to use it very well. Like, he was able to, like, master things a little bit better because he was accessing his emotions. Like, when he was kidnapped by some of the Harkonnens, they were talking about basically like assaulting his mother, and so that got him like all worked up and got him to access this power of the voice just like enough to get his mother free, which I really appreciated, that it took him a couple times to get it. Like, it took him a couple times to get it down. He was able to just be able to free his mother, and then his mother freaking took it from there and, like, freaking wrecked the dudes. But I think what I appreciated most about that is that he doesn't use the voice very often, or, like, for the rest. Like, just showing that it's like, oh, I've done it once, now I've, like, fully mastered it. Like, I love that he still doesn't quite have it down.
Yeah, no, I appreciated that as well.
So I thought that was fairly interesting, but not a whole ton.
Yeah.
Kind of a very bland character, other than when he was sharing his emotions.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with you.
Yeah, so I think character development at a 77 is pretty decent.
Yeah, I would agree.
Alright, next up we got effects. What did you think about this?
Super, super solid. I'm trying to remember, like, the one CGI thing that I had a problem with. And now, because I'm, like, I've put myself on the spot, I can't remember it because, of course. But minus that, the effects in this movie are, like, freaking amazing. From the, like, the landscapes, like, the ship design, so good, so good.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Like, even the thing that I feel was, like, the most heavily CGI'd was the sandworms, and even those looked incredible.
Yes. Oh my dude, when they open their mouths, I'm like, oh my god, that's freaking terrifying, but I love it.
Yeah. Dude, I was even blown away when they zoomed in on that dude riding the sandworm.
Yeah, that looks super good.
Like, that just, like, blew me away. So I actually went really high. Like, I think this is, like, the biggest gap that we had. I went with a 92, and you were down, like, in an 85. So we're at, like, in an 88.5.
Okay. See,
Which
I can
I think
completely understand why you gave it a 92.
Yeah, I thought, like... I watched it on my smaller TV, unfortunately.
Oh, damn.
But even then, I was blown away at the effects.
Yeah.
Like, I thought they were so good. And usually on smaller screens, it's harder to get away with, like, those crazy effects. Like, at least I feel. Like, I think I'm able to pick stuff out a lot easier on my phone or on that small TV than I am with, like, the bigger TV or if I go into theaters.
That's fair. That is absolutely fair.
Yeah, so I think they just knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm trying to think of any other scenes in particular. I think there was a lot of subtlety with some of their effects too. Like, I really liked how when they were flying over the desert, there were, like, patches of red where it was like you could see the spice.
Yes, I appreciated that as well.
Yeah, it wasn't something that, like, was in your face. It was just, like, a subtle detail in the back, but such an effective effect.
Yeah, I love that kind of shit.
Yeah, same here. So I think an 88.5 is definitely more than fair for these effects.
Absolutely.
Moving on over to music, we are sitting at a 7, which this is one I, like, disagree with you hard on.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, I thought the soundtrack for this, and it wasn't like a crazy, like, an 80s soundtrack. Like, it wasn't like that, but I thought the music was just, like, on point with, like, keep, like, uplifting the epic moments and then, like, downplaying the more solemn moments.
Oh. I don't know, for some reason it just didn't do that much for me. I don't know why. But yeah, it's a good soundtrack, don't get me wrong. Like, I definitely agree with you. Like, it did a very good job of hyping up the moments that it needed to, or make serious what moments that it needed to. But yeah, I don't know, just it wasn't, like, my favorite soundtrack. I'm not trying to compare them, but, you know, like, the Halloween Kills soundtrack definitely got me a lot more, like, hyped when it needed to be serious, like, like anytime Michael Myers appeared or some shit like that. But yeah, like, I promise, like, I still think it's a great soundtrack. It just it didn't impress me as much as you.
Right. I mean, I can understand that. Like, it definitely wasn't like a John Williams score or anything.
Yeah.
Like, I probably couldn't hum the tunes to any of the scores. Like, I don't think it has, like, a memorable score like that. So yeah. I can see why you're at 7, and this is definitely why we round down, because
yeah. Did you give it a 9?
No, I gave it an 8.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I was just, like, one point higher.
All right.
But I thought it was good overall. But I can definitely see why you gave it a 7. Just, like, it didn't have one of those things that just, or one of those scores or one of those songs or whatever that just kind of, like, stood out.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I can live with the 7.
Okay, cool.
All right, next up we got costumes, and this one we were actually unanimous on. We both gave it a 9.
Rightfully so. Whoever did the costume design for this movie, phenomenal. The freaking costumes that they wear when it's like the ones that like regulates like bodily fluids, isn't that what it does?
Yeah, it like takes the sweat, like I hope runs it through some sort of filter.
Yeah, we can only hope. Even though like all those were just like simple black, it still looks so badass. And like them adding like kind of like a scarf effect to like kind of have like a cover up and it turned into a hood as well. Looks so freaking cool. Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, it almost it like the suit very much had like a superhero vibe to it.
Absolutely.
Or a super suit vibe, but I feel they played it off in a way that it wasn't like you couldn't survive with just the suit. I felt like you needed something over it. Like they always like had a hood, they had like a scarf or like a robe or something. They always had like it was almost like Under Armour.
Yes, that's
which
a great way to put it.
I loved that. And I know that this could be thrown into effects too, and really only came out like one time, I feel, was when the doctor got, what was her name? Dr. Kynes, when she was like trying to call the sandworm and you saw that she was going to like freaking hog tie it and ride it somewhere. I love that, like, when one of those guys attacked her from the back and stabbed through her, I thought her blood was white. And then Brielle was actually the one who pointed out, no, that was her water. And I'm like, oh!
I did not. Damn, Brielle's got some good eyes.
Yeah,
I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, and so I thought that was so cool. I'm like, that is just such a neat effect.
Absolutely.
And it just brings up like a lot of like interesting questions about like the fluids and everything. Like, when they had when Paul had to fight that Fremen in that battle, Brielle was brought up some really good questions like, oh, do they take his water? Do they like recycle his water? Like, what do they do with all that? And I'm like, that's a great freaking question.
Yeah.
And it's just, I think it was so good. So freaking good. Like, those suits looked freaking badass. I thought the white suit that Duncan was wearing, like, those suits were freaking sweet.
Oh, yeah. Those look bitchin' as well.
Like, I thought everyone looked good. The only one that I honestly didn't care for was the Baron. Like, the Baron was the only one that I'm like, yeah, you're gross looking.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that.
Yeah, which, I mean, I gave bonus points for, because if you can make me feel that, that's a freaking awesome costume.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so, like I said, costumes were sitting at a 9.
Not bad.
Alright, then last up, we got our own personal grade.
Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
I'll take this one first.
Okay.
Overall, it is not an unwatchable movie, despite how many problems there are with it, or that we had with it. There are going to be things that are going to pull you out of the moments, and I think that if you think about it too hard, there's plot holes, there's everything. Like, every issue that you could think of, you're probably going to find in this movie. But it is very interesting, and I do think that this does have the potential to be the next great film, like novel-based films. I don't know why that was so hard for me to figure out.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I think it does have that potential, and I think like the biggest issue with this one, it was just they relied really, really heavily on there being two parts. And I do hope that the second movie enhances the first one. I do have like high hopes for that, so I hope that that just makes like the whole movie better, and I hope it feels like one really long, really big movie. And I mean, hope like that's my hope, but as it stands with this movie, it feels like we've only gotten half. And that's just kind of what the downfall of it too. So, but overall, I think if you do enjoy the sci-fi world, you'll enjoy this movie. Like, especially from what I hear, I haven't seen the original one yet. I'm probably going to go back and watch it just for shits and giggles. But I do hear that if you watch the original movie or if you've read the books, you will understand a lot more than we probably did. So yeah, I'm sitting at a 79 with it.
Okay, all right. So yeah, I absolutely agree with basically everything Caleb said. It's not, like I said, I'm not a huge sci-fi kind of guy, so it feels like this movie isn't really made for me. I still enjoyed it, and actually, like, once the credits started rolling, I'm like, okay, you know what, I actually do look forward to part 2. I definitely will check it out in theaters, and hopefully I don't have the same experience that I did. Oh yeah, I gotta bring that up really quickly. So this is just and this was before the movie even started, but so at first there was just me in the movie theater. Like, I was the only one that had bought in a ticket. I'm just like, oh my gosh, am I gonna get the whole auditorium to myself? It's gonna be freaking awesome. Of course, that wasn't the case because shocker. But on the same row as me, there was this old couple at the end. And then right in front of me, there was this old friend, two friends, they were old people, but like two friends. And then I think in like all the way back there was like this couple that was in probably like their 30s or something, which they were quiet the whole freaking movie. I freaking loved them in the back, but this couple that was to the left of me, every single time that a trailer would end, the freaking husband would shout. He would make it very clear how he felt about the trailer. He'd be like, well, that's a 0 out of 1 for me. Definitely not seeing that. That's a 0 out of 2. That's a 0 out of 3. I didn't say it in my breath. I actually said it pretty vocally. I just said, shut the up, dude. I hope he heard me. I don't give a shit what your opinion is about the movie. Ugh.
Freaking hate people like that, man.
Like, you know what? If you want to whisper that to your wife that doesn't look interesting to you, cool. I don't care. But don't make it vocal for everybody else to hear it.
Yeah. I hate that. Like, I can't stand unnecessary negativity.
Thank you.
Like, if you wanted to, like, if it was like opposite and he's just like, oh my gosh, that looks so good, like, I feel like that's something I could live with.
Oh yeah, I would like, actually be like,
I'd be like, really good. That looks really good. It's
I would be like, agreeing with the guy. I'm like, yeah, dude, I totally agree.
Yeah, like, even if like it wasn't something that looked like incredible, it's just like, that looks worth watching. Like, just something like that. Like, just that negativity for just to be an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, I can't stand people like that.
I'm here.
Like, I cannot stand it. Like, if you're going to be negative, just shut up. Like, no one wants to hear it.
Thank you. Yeah. So, this is why this VR movie theater experience is just sounding more and more good.
Yeah, I'm going to keep a tally of all the points that VR movie nights have. And I feel like I'm enough. 2 points up.
Yeah, you are. Absolutely. But yeah, so getting back to the review of the movie. So yeah, that was my movie theater experience with it. But like I said, like story was kind of hard a little bit to follow. I didn't understand exactly where all the characters were headed. Didn't exactly understand all of the groups that were explained. So I think I did enjoy this movie a little less than Caleb. So I think I'm gonna go like a 72. It's like I said, I'm looking forward to the second part just so this story can be wrapped up. But like Caleb said, they were really banking on this being made into two parts because this first part does feel like an incomplete movie.
Yeah, very, very much so. All right, well that concludes this week's breakdown. The average personal grade for Dune came to a 75.5, which brings our final All Bros letter grade for Dune to a B-.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's definitely on the lower end. It's closer to being a C+. But it is sitting at an 80.625%.
Damn, you weren't kidding.
Yeah, right? So, let's see. Out of all of our B- movies, which we have 18 of them, this is sitting at number 16.
What's below it?
So compared to all of our other movies, these are all B- movies that I'm about to list off. It is above Good Boys, which was at an 80.25%.
Okay.
And it was above Nomadland, which was at an 80.18%.
You were not the biggest fan of Nomadland.
Yeah. I mean,
no, I get it. I get it.
Yeah. But then it puts it below the Banana Splits movie, which was at an 80.91%.
All right.
It was also below Deadpool 2, which was at an 81.08%.
Fair.
Is below Late Night, which was at an 81.3. Is below Birds of Prey, which was at an 81.75. And it was below Holiday in Handcuffs, which was at an 81.78.
All right, okay.
Yeah, very, very different movies. When you get to like the lower end, like those are like completely different movies, but it's so hard to disagree with those scores too.
Yeah,
At least for us. Like I know a lot of people will be like, "No, man, that's a piece of art." Like, is it though?
I mean, I feel it is, but that's just me. I really liked that movie.
I'm pretty sure if I went back to the scores, you were harder on that movie than I was.
Really? Oh shit! Yeah, I think you were right.
Unfortunately, I don't have the scores back that far.
Yeah, but I think you are right. Actually, I think I do remember that. So never mind. I take back my criticism.
Yeah. But yeah. So that. I forgot. It is also out of all of the movies that we've broken down, which we are at 149. This is sitting at 98. Yeah, so it's barely making top 100. So, anyway, so far, I mean, I think top 100's alright.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you know.
It's in the top or the top 2/3
Yeah,
of
so,
movies
hey,
that we've broken down.
It's something. It's something.
Yeah. But next week is going to be interesting. Next week is our 150th movie breakdown.
Holy shit, I can't believe that. That's so crazy.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty wild.
We reached that a lot faster than I thought we would, but then at the same time, it's like we can't really do a lot of versus matches right now, and we don't really have any ideas for Dreamcast right now, so it's kind of been just like movie after movie for a while.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not complaining.
I'm cool with it. No,
Yeah.
not me neither.
Oh, what was I just gonna say? So all of these aren't like episode based ones because we did have those few that were thrown in for those like mini breakdowns that we were going to do, but ended up being way too much work.
Yeah. When the going got tough, I gave up.
Oh shit. Yeah. So, yeah, like we said, Dune is sitting at an 80.625%, which puts it at a B-.
Not too shabby.
Yeah, so that concludes this week's breakdown. If you like this episode, want to hear more of our stuff, be sure to follow and subscribe to us wherever you listen to podcasts. We are pretty much everywhere. You can also catch all of our episodes on YouTube. You can follow us on social media. We are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can just search at The All Bros. And if you want to, you can hit us up with episode ideas. If you want to answer a question of the week when we actually post one. Or if you want to join us for an episode, we would love to have anyone on. You can also check out our website, tinyurl.com/theallbros, where you can find links to everything that we do. That's probably the easiest place to find everything that we do as well. But we have merch on the website too, and I should have it updated.
As long as no other company takes shit down.
Oh my gosh, yeah. TeePublic freaking ripped down another one, and I'm pretty sure it was just because it was named after a Disney movie.
So dumb.
Yeah, freaking hate it. But yeah, if you guys want to get merch, we'll just charge you however much it costs, which is like a base cost. Like, how much did we get our hoodies for? Like $20?
I think including shipping it was like $25.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But yeah, like $25 hoodie, like what, $13 or $15 for a shirt?
Yeah, some pretty good prices, I feel.
Yeah, some damn good prices. Like you can get 2 shirts for like $30.
Yeah, which is not too bad. Not too bad at all.
Yeah, so if anyone wants one, hit us up. We'll hook you up.
Yes, we will.
But yeah, so next week, we don't know what we're going to do yet.
It's once again up in the air.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. Yeah, there's just some people that I need to talk to just to figure out some logistics, but we'll get it figured out by next week. But yeah, you guys can look forward to an episode next week. So with that, this has been the All Bros podcast. I'm Caleb.
And I'm Jonathan.
And we will catch you guys next week. Deuces.
So long.
That one felt lazy.
Yeah, it did. I felt a cough coming on, so that's why.